Now, what I want to go through is just some of the mind games. And the first one up is gaslighting. Now, if you don't know what gaslighting is, trust me, you don't want to get caught in it. Gaslighting is like a magician's trick, only they make you question your own sanity, leaving you scratching your head and you're thinking, am I the one that's losing this? Is this Twilight Zone? Is it? Another tactic that they have is called projection, and it's like a movie projector. Only instead of, showing a really cool movie, the narcissist ends up projecting their own insecurities and issues onto you. It's like they have all these toxic emotions and they're trying to juggle them, but they burn their hands and they're just throwing them at you. That's exactly what it is, because they don't want this baggage. And it's really hard for them to hold on to it. So what do? They throw it at the closest person, whoever's nearby. And if you're an intimate partner, 99.9% chance that person is you. So now here's the key to unraveling all of these toxic puzzle pieces. It's all about understanding that their words and their actions are basically a reflection of their own messed up selves. It's like they're walking around with this emotional mirror, constantly projecting or reflecting their own pains onto others. So even though it may feel like a personal attack, it's actually not. And the reason that they target people with such surgical precision has nothing to do with you. It's actually not about you at all. It's about them. It's always been about them. And if you want to know how a narcissist is feeling, look at how they're making you feel. Misery, for whatever reason, seems to like company. And if you're looking for misery, well, narcissists have more than enough. So you remember that saying, hurt people hurt people? I have a post about it somewhere in my feed. Well, there's truth in that. Truth in that right there. Hurt people hurt people. When someone lashes out, they are saying things that cut deep, and they do it on purpose. And usually what it is, it's a sign that they're hurting inside. And it's like they're carrying this, truckload of emotional baggage. Instead of dealing with themselves, what they end up doing is just kind of tossing all of their emotional baggage onto unsuspecting victims, like those baggage handlers that are behind on schedule, just tossing it out anywhere, left, right, center. So what do we do in the face of all this madness? Well, for starters, we can focus on ourselves. That's exactly where we need to start. We need to start with ourselves. And when we focus on ourselves, we can actually build up a rock solid self-confidence. We can build up rock solid self-love that just kind of shields us from all of this toxic nonsense. We can recognize that their words have nothing to do with us. Even if they're trying their hardest to make us believe that it's our fault, no, sorry. It doesn't work that way. Not anymore. Now, let's go in there and crack open some of the mind games that they're playing and learn even more how to keep our cool in the face of their emotional roller coaster. And let's keep pushing through this journey of self-discovery. All right, so hope I haven't lost you yet, because we're about to uncover that dark, twisted world of narcissism. And it's going to be a bit of a twisty ride. So if you need a seatbelt, put one on. To understand how narcissists operate, we almost need to just kind of crack open their skull and look inside their brain. And when we do, it's like, whoa, that's pretty messed up in there. It's just kind of like that brain is just pickled in toxic acid. But it's their brain, it's not yours. Theirs, not yours. So I love the analogy of narcissists being equated to like emotional vampires or energy vampires, because what they do is they go around and they just suck the blood out of anyone in their path. They're like those Bond villains or those villains from the cartoons that are just kind of caricatures. They're just people who just thrive on chaos and destruction, because deep down inside, they're just really empty people desperately seeking validation. Because, like a truly happy person, a healthy person, a person who genuinely loves themselves doesn't go around hurling hurtful words at people like they're like hate grenades. No, it's just, we don't need that kind of negativity in our lives. Narcissists do, but that's because it's their nature. Like narcissists are just a completely different breed. They walk around like these emotional tornadoes, like, the Tasmanian devil of just hurt and anxiety and anger and rage and sadness and sorrow. And they just like leave this path of destruction everywhere in their way. Like, why? Well, the answer actually comes down to them trying to fill in this little void within themselves. They're like these emotional scavengers that are desperately seeking out any kind of scrap of emotional nourishment that they can get, that they can find. They just pick it up. And they get that emotional nourishment from hurting others. Yeah, I know. It's messed up, but, that's their twisted reality. It's not yours. It's theirs. Not yours. Theirs. I'm going to say that one more time. It's theirs, not yours. So when they hurl those words at us, remember, it's actually not about you at all. It's never been about you, and it will never be about you. It's about their own insecurities. It's about their own wounds, their own jealousy, their own hatred, their own self-doubt, their own insecurity. It's like they're going through life carrying around this big, heavy backpack, and it's just full of negativity grenades, and they're just looking for anyone to unload it on. It's like an emotional game of hot potato, and they're just trying to pass their pain with anyone within reach. They don't care who. But here's the thing, we're not going to be their emotional punching bags. Oh, hell no, we're not going to go down the way they want us to go down. Sorry, not doing it. And what we're going to do is we're going to rise up above the toxicity like, super angels, just soaring up into the sky. And we're going to hold our heads up high, knowing that their words are their words and they don't get to define us. When we have boundaries, it's like we have this impenetrable force field, deflecting their negativity like they're little tiny pebbles that just bounce off like a suit of armor that's made of solid boundary material. Whatever boundary material is made out of, it's made out of that. And we're going to get some of that. So, the next time you encounter narcissistic people, remember that their words are just desperate attempts to fill their own void. And we don't have to go down to their level. Instead, there's another path. It's up there, a higher level. This is where we embrace our work, where we keep shining like stars that we are and leave them in the darkness that they are. And let's conquer this, narcissistic battlefield together. And to do so, what we're going to do is we're going to keep our spirits up high and our hearts strong and never forget that we are worth more than empty words coming from, an insecure little soul of a living dead child.